Boxers don't do this. This is why Canelo's not fighting Benavidez. Why would Canelo fight Benavidez, who's relatively unknown, and Benavidez beats him and Benavidez becomes overnight a superstar? That's Canelo's letting Benavidez make a name off of him.
So you're saying that you're going to make...
If it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter. But my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion. And I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's what...
David Benavidez is speaking openly after Canelo Alvarez lost to Terence Crawford. The unbeaten super middleweight champion is increasing the pressure and says that Canelo is avoiding a fight with him.
Give us Canelo Benavidez. Why? Canelo, why? I do not understand it. You're demanding $200 million? Like, come on, dude. Basically, Canelo doesn't want to give us the good fights. Imagine if Canelo and Benavidez gets made. That's the Super Bowl of boxing. Boxing is on the rise. Canelo, don't screw it up for us. I thought I would never say this, but Canelo's scared. Literally, I thought I would, as a fighter, I know fighters are not scared. But wow, we've been begging Canelo, please.
Saul Canelo Alvarez chose not to fight David Benavidez because he was unhappy with Benavidez's attitude and was mainly thinking about the money involved. Experienced trainer Ronnie Shields had confidently said before the fight that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo, and he continues to stand by his prediction. After the match, Shields explained that he always believed Crawford's quickness and his smooth ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw styles would be difficult for Canelo to handle. He described how Bud's talent for changing stances, moving forward or backward, and managing distance revealed small weaknesses in Canelo's defense and created clear chances for Crawford to strike.
Unanimous decision. You got that. And I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looks for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo. And I just think that Crawford was too fast for him, you know, especially in the southpaw position. We all know Canelo have problems with the southpaw. So, you know, and that's why I picked Crawford.
Veteran boxing coach Ronnie Shields praised Terence Crawford for delivering a near-perfect performance, saying he stayed relaxed, picked his moments wisely, and took full advantage of every error Canelo made. Shields called it a brilliant example of smart strategy and ring awareness, exactly as he had predicted before the fight, and he even hinted that Canelo might think about retiring, pointing out that years of tough fights appeared to be catching up with him. In contrast, Oscar De La Hoya shared a different view, explaining that the choice to retire belongs only to Canelo, and if he feels he has done enough he should walk away, but must be careful about who he faces next. De La Hoya also credited Crawford's elite ability, praising how well he reads opponents, adapts to different styles, and counters with precision, saying the performance was impressive and a strong reminder that Crawford is one of the smartest and most versatile fighters in boxing today.
Excuse that he's older, right? We can't use the excuse that, oh, well, you know, he moved around too much. Well, it's your job to figure him out, right? Just like Chavez would figure out a fighter, just like I would figure out a fighter, just like any real great fighter can figure styles out. That's your job. I think Crawford did a tremendous job. Kudos to him. Sky's the limit for Crawford, and I really don't know where...
Oscar De La Hoya, a former world champion and boxing promoter of Mexican heritage, continued to share his views on what lies ahead for Canelo after the landmark win, while also breaking down Terence Crawford's future path. He pointed out that Crawford shows strong confidence and said this belief in himself will push him toward even greater challenges. De La Hoya noted that Crawford looks completely settled at super middleweight and sees little reason for him to drop back to 154 pounds, though a return to 160 pounds could make sense for the right high-profile fight. Oscar added that the most exciting option at the moment would be a showdown with the rising Virgil Ortiz, a matchup he feels would deliver non-stop action and suit Crawford's elite level perfectly.
Would be incredible. So there's a good possibility that Crawford will stay at 168 most likely go down to 160. I don't think he's going to touch 154. I think he'll stay at 160 eventually and try to find the biggest fights possible. And
Terence "Bud" Crawford earned strong praise from Raul Romero for his performance in the September 13th main event against Canelo Alvarez. Romero said it takes a special kind of fighter to beat Canelo and stated that Crawford proved he is one of those rare talents. He explained that the opening rounds were intense, with Canelo moving forward and keeping the contest competitive. As the fight went on, Crawford slowly gained control, dictating the rhythm, landing the cleaner punches, and clearly taking round after round. Romero stressed that Bud's ability to adjust during the fight against a top-level opponent shows why he is now viewed as one of the greatest boxers ever, and he called the win an incredible achievement that few could have imagined happening in such a complete way.
Special for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot more special than what probably anyone else is probably thinking, honestly. I didn't expect Crawford to be that big.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect Crawford to be that big, but Canelo did good the first few rounds, you know, first like all the way up like to round 4, and then that's when Crawford took over, you know. So I mean, the second half of the fight though, it was all Crawford.
Terence Crawford is being careful about a possible fight with David Benavidez and appears to share a mindset similar to Canelo Alvarez. The Mexican star Canelo was beaten by the American Crawford, who took his championship titles. After that defeat, David Benavidez began pushing Canelo to set up what many are calling the ultimate boxing showdown for Mexico, and a former world champion has even advised Canelo to think about retirement. Benavidez is known as a dangerous rival with a height close to 1.8 meters and a weight ranging from 88 to 90 kilograms, yet Crawford has made it clear that he is not afraid of a tough physical test. During their fight, Canelo being smaller than Crawford was one of the few advantages Crawford noticed. Boxing writer Dan Rafael also echoed Raul Romero's view on Crawford's showing, explaining that the early rounds were fast-paced and highly competitive with action going both ways. As the fight unfolded, Crawford showed he was well prepared, followed his plan carefully, and eventually outperformed the bigger and more experienced Canelo. Rafael praised Crawford's calm step-by-step approach and his ability to stick to a long-term strategy, showing strong discipline and focus. Before the bout, many people doubted Crawford because of Canelo's size, power, and championship background, but through hard work and smart execution, Crawford overcame every challenge, earned a clear win, and secured his place as one of the most complete and driven champions in boxing today.
I had Canelo ahead in the early going, but I thought Crawford did an amazing job closing that fight down in the last few rounds, where he really started to back the supposed bigger guy up, although for me, they looked about the same size. But that was a brilliant performance, and what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him and said, forget about it, no chance against a bigger guy like.
Dan Rafael added that although a second fight between Canelo and Crawford would attract huge interest, it may not be the smartest or most practical choice for either boxer right now. He suggested that both fighters look at other major opportunities that make more sense for where they are in their careers. Rafael advised Canelo to think carefully about the risks and rewards of any future matchup and decide wisely if he should face anyone next. When speaking about Crawford, Rafael said this historic win has raised Bud's profile so high that nearly every elite fighter will want a shot at him. Even so, he stressed that Crawford must be selective and evaluate each option closely, considering the weight class, the size of the event, and the championships that could be at stake in any upcoming bout.
Then, the Hamza Shiraz, I mean, those types of names. He's got mandatories. Mabili got the draw tonight in a great fight. There's other fighters that have belts and interim belts and blah, blah, blah. So, nobody's going to rush Terence Crawford into his next fight. He'll take his time, and, whatever the next fight is, it's going to be a big one because, his name is even greater now than what happened going into this fight for him. So he beats Canelo Alvarez.
Lois Schofield, who had been certain that Canelo Alvarez would win on September 13th, shared his surprise after seeing Terence Crawford completely control the fight. Schofield admitted he was expecting a strong trademark showing from Canelo, but instead watched the Mexican star struggle and come up well short of expectations, and for the first time he openly questioned whether retirement could be an option for him. While breaking down the bout, Schofield pointed out that Crawford was better in every key area, including speed, timing, and command of the ring. Crawford steadily pulled ahead and secured a clear and convincing win. Even so, Schofield said he hopes Canelo continues boxing takes time to reset and return stronger so fans can once again see him regain the form and respect of the champion he once was.
Canelo since I was a kid, so my heart, a tear almost came on my I ain't gonna lie, because it felt like, that Canelo's done. But I just think he was a little off that night. I think he can, make a big comeback. But to Crawford, man, he's the greatest of this era. You got to give it to him. Greatest of this era. Nobody's ever done that before. 3-time undisputed. So you got to take your hats off to Crawford. And I was just shocked that he was able to just dismiss.
Canelo's toughness and champion mindset were clearly shown in his hard-fought battles with Gennady Golovkin, which stand among the biggest moments of his career. He also made history by becoming the first undisputed super middleweight champion after beating Caleb Plant and claiming all 4 major titles. Beyond collecting belts, Canelo has repeatedly accepted risky challenges in different weight classes and has never backed away from major fights. His career reflects strength, skill, and determination, combining the heart of Mexican boxing with high-level technique. These achievements have secured his position as one of the standout fighters of his era, and the fact that Crawford returned the titles to Canelo after his win highlights the respect Canelo has earned throughout the boxing world.
The young kid, I think he was 21, 22 years old, he had a lot of experience, I should say. He had a lot of boxing experience at his age.
40, 50 fights?
Huh?
He had 40 or 50 fights at that point, right?
40, 50 fights, but not just that. I'm talking about experience as far as knowledge about being the real, experience. Like veteran experience. Like he knew how to counter, he knew how to block and counter, do different things. So it wasn't like he was just an ordinary fighter. And I was like, and fighting him, I'm like, wow. He actually knows how to get away from stuff. He knows how to counter. He knows how to trick shot.
David Benavidez has earned recognition as a major threat in the super middleweight division, and his win over Anthony Dirrell in 2019 became a defining moment in his rise. He stopped the more seasoned champion in the 9th round to regain the WBC title, and afterwards spoke with calm confidence, showing he knew he belonged at the top level of boxing. Winning the belt again at just 22 years old, he called the moment a lifelong dream and stressed how meaningful the championship was to him. Benavidez also gave credit to Dirrell for his constant pressure and sharp punching, explaining how it pushed him throughout the fight and tested his determination. He saw the victory as clear proof of his discipline and development, showing that his mix of youth power, focus, and hard work had made him the fighter everyone must beat at 168 pounds.
David Benavidez.
Words can't explain how good I feel. I said I was gonna get in here. I was gonna win the belt again. Like I said, it was a hard fight. My Dirrell was trying to catch me all night. He was trying to counter me when I would step in. But we were willing to take the chances, and he didn't catch me at all. It was a hard fight, but my dreams come true. Second time fighting on pay-per-view. All my people out there came out to support. So man, it's an amazing feeling. I just can't wait to get back.
After the exciting showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, boxing fans are actively discussing what should happen next. Some experts and supporters are pushing for a rematch, while others feel both fighters should move on to fresh challenges. David Benavidez has openly criticized Canelo following the fight and believes the idea of youth facing an established legend is something many fans find exciting to watch. At the same time, several voices have suggested that Canelo think about retiring to preserve his legacy after an incredible career. Crawford's win has instead expanded his options and placed him in an even stronger position moving forward. The question now is whether Crawford should target rising contender Virgil Ortiz, aim to rule the super middleweight division, or chase another major pound-for-pound matchup. Everyone keep watching for the newest boxing updates, highlights, major events, and stories. Subscribe to Ring Headquaterzz and turn on notifications so you do not miss any updates. Make sure to check out our other videos as well. Until next time, take care and stay safe.